I want to talk about something that happened to me recently that was pretty significant. So last week I did an interview with Joe and Fran, and that night I had a dream where I was crying in my sleep and then crying waking up. And I want to tell you guys about it. So I don't know if you guys have ever had a dream before where you're crying in your sleep and then realize that you are actually crying in real life. But that hasn't happened to me in at least 5 years. It used to happen pretty regularly when I was working through a lot of my childhood trauma, but it hasn't happened in a very long time. And it's significant because it happened the night that I interviewed Joe and Fran. So I'm going to tell you what the dream was about. And this video, I'm creating it because I want to talk about missing people inside of the organization, us being ex-witnesses, whether you're shunned or semi-shunned or just feel like you can only have a superficial conversation with people that are still in the organization or family members that are still in the organization because you're out. Wherever you are with communication with people that are in the organization and you're out, I wanted to share this specific dream and this idea with you just because I know it'll resonate and I know it'll hit people in wherever you are on your healing journey and your life journey. So I was really close to my mother-in-law. I was married to a Jehovah's Witness for almost 8 years, together with him for almost 10 years. Well, 1 month shy of 8 years that we were together. And his mother was more of a mother to me than my own mother. She was amazing, and I talked to her about anything and everything, and I still think about that woman all the time. She was part of my life for almost a decade, from when I first started dating my husband. I was 22, and then when we got married, I was 24, and then divorced at 32. Still thinking about her all the time. My ex-father-in-law was an elder. He had to step down for reasons. So my Jehovah's Witness family was, ex-in-laws were really spiritual according to the religion. I was very close to my sister-in-law. She was always very sick. She had diverticulitis and colitis, and at the age of 20 she had a colostomy bag. Fortunately, she was able to reverse it. Still think about her all the time. My brother-in-law, who was quite young when I was married, I think he was like 10 years younger than me, but also got married. I still think about him and his wife. I will on occasion Google them. I know some of them have Instagram accounts, but they're constantly changing their names, so it's hard for me to keep up with them and see what's up and see how they are, but they seem to be doing okay. I haven't seen how my mother-in-law is, so I still think about her all the time. I think about a sister or a woman who studied with me who is more like a mother to me than my own mother. This is preteens, teens. She was amazing to me. I feel like without her, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. But back to this dream that I was having. So this dream, I was in, I think it was called the Allen Park Community Center. So I lived in a town called Lincoln Park in Michigan, and it was in the Downriver area. And if you're watching this and are from Michigan, maybe you're familiar with that area. So I was in a community center, and I don't know, I feel like they were gonna have a party or something. And I was there, and I saw my mother-in-law and a sister that was also in our congregation at a distance, and they were talking to each other, but they didn't see me. And then out of the blue, my sister-in-law, my ex-sister-in-law, and my brother-in-law came to me. Like, they came out of nowhere, and my sister-in-law was on this side and my brother-in-law was on this side, and they held my arm, and I was looking directly at my mother-in-law and the sister from my congregation. And just as that happened, when they grabbed my arm, I just started crying. Like, oh my gosh, I was crying a lot. And then I woke up from the dream. And I allowed myself to get really emotional and just to think about them, because I still do miss them. I think about them. So the dream was really significant to me because, like I said, I haven't had a dream like that in a really long time, and it just made me realize how much I still think about them. And even though I've worked on all the things associated with the religion, these people came into my life at such a significant time and were around for such a significant time, a decade of my life. And as I mentioned, the sister who studied with me in my teens, my preteens, these people I can't speak to. And I feel that it's harder to grieve people that are still in the organization, that we lost to the organization, than to grieve people who have died, who have literally died. Because we know that the people that are in the organization are still alive. And if you do still have a relationship with any people in the organization and you're out, you know that the relationship can only be very superficial, because otherwise they're going to be talking about the religion and why you're trying to encourage you, yada yada yada. Also, I have tried to reach out to old friends that were friends with me right before I left the organization, or I got disfellowshipped, and all they say to me is, are you back into the organization? There's so much new light that came out. You should check out jw.org. And then I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I cannot even imagine what they see of me on social media and what they think of me. And then I miss them, but I also was a different person 12 years ago when I got disfellowshipped. And then there are people who I specifically reached out to after I got disfellowshipped, who were my friends, who were also not witnesses anymore. And that didn't go well either. I feel that I have changed and grown so much, especially because I've moved and I've done so many things in my life, and they're in a different place in their life, and it just didn't go so well. So yeah, the connection and the disconnection that I have from my old Jehovah's Witness and ex-Jehovah's Witness family and friends has just been really interesting. My mother, who has chosen not to speak to me for 12 years due to the religion, I'm actually grateful that she's chosen not to speak to me, because she has narcissistic personality disorder, maybe not full-blown narcissist, but pretty much up there. So her not speaking to me for 12 years has actually done a lot of great things for me. It's really allowed me to separate from her and build my own happiness and my own resilience outside of her. So that's been really great. I'm grateful for that opportunity. But I do love her. I do love my mother, even though she hasn't spoken to me. I know that there's some deep wounds that she needs to work through that she will never work through in this lifetime. But I have so much compassion for her, and if she wants to come back into my life, I will welcome her with open arms. However, I'm creating this video just to say, wherever you are in your healing journey, wherever you are in life, however long you've been out of the organization, or maybe you're still in the organization, time doesn't heal anything. What time does, it allows you to build a life outside of the things that has happened to you, and you move forward and you move forward. But the past is still there, and as the emotions come up, when you start thinking about missing people or being angry at the religion, it's really important to feel all the feelings. And I did a whole post on anger recently, and how there's always pain underneath anger. And when we're feeling angry or hatred toward the religion, it's because we have a lot of unmet pain that we have to deal with. I've cried so much, especially after I got disfellowshipped in the early years of all the pain that I had. So it's really important to feel all your feelings and stay with your emotions. You are in charge of everything that happens inside, and it's up to you to be self-compassionate with yourself. If you can't be compassionate with yourself, then don't expect other people to be compassionate to you. As ex-witnesses, you might feel like you're alone, but you're never alone. I felt like that such a long time after I left the organization, and there wasn't any support groups, there wasn't Facebook groups, there wasn't YouTube channels. Now there's dozens upon dozens of Facebook groups, support groups, Reddit community. There's dozens of YouTube channels for people to watch. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching. Till next time.